The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon from TFNN. Welcome to the May 24th. Terrific Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Let's make sure that you and I have an extraordinary one. And of course, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life happens for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Today, you and I, we're going to go look at the circumstance of the bulls and the bears, the buyers and the sellers. We're going to go figure out what they're communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, but more importantly, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. Dial on in, 877-927-6648, internationally, 727-445-1044. Let's go ahead and get this show started on this terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. Again, I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, we have the Dow trading up 215 points at 17,708. S&P up 28 points at 2076. NASDAQ Composite up 88 points at 4854. Russell's up 23 points at 1134. The DAX closed up 215 points. The FTSE up 82. Gold's trading back $22, trading at 1232. On its way downtown, baby. It's got a lot further to go. You've got silver down 15 cents. That's trading at 1628. Light sweet crude, that's up 61 pennies at 48.69. The big mover today, dollar-wise, you've got AutoZone up $23, 22.54. to be exact. That's up 3% to the upside. Boy, talk about hitting a seventh wave, a bullish engulfing, completed an A to B equals C to D. AutoZone. We'll go take a look at that stock. Priceline, that's up $17, 1.5%. Google's up 14. Nordson Corp, not Nordstrom, but Nordson Corp up about 13%. That's about $10. To the downside, individual stock-wise, looks like Pacific Drilling SA down 90%. What the heck is that? So there must be something weird there, or not weird, but certainly something going on. Huntington Ingalls Industries, that's down 2%, about $3. Spark Therapeutics off 4. Sage Therapeutics down 3. So not a ton of nothing really large dollar-wise to the downside. ETFs, that's a whole different story out there. So where do we begin? Well, the market is playing out just like you and I discussed yesterday, right? We took a look at the patterns. It was very clear what the message of the markets was. So it's just really doing what we had anticipated. There we go. We're going to use that word anticipate. Although we don't have to anticipate anymore. We now know, right? So if we take a look at, let's take this step by step. Let's see exactly where we're at. Now, the easiest place I think to start is let's go take a look at the daily futures contract. So we'll start here, and this is what we know as of just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. First, if we take a look at the NQ, that's the upper left-hand portion of my screen. If you're watching us on TigerTV, upper left-hand is the NQ, upper right, ES-mini S&P futures, lower left is the Dow, lower right is the Russell 2000. Now, what I suggested that we would learn a lot about this market from was the NQ. And what we can see as we speak right now, this is a daily chart, so until 5:15 this evening, this candle doesn't necessarily mean anything, well, sort of. But we can see that what the NQ has done is it's broken through its most recent descending price channel. As long as price stays above that, that's very bullish out here. What does that say? It says, well, a change in trend. Says you've got, now you start taking a look at retracements because there is no TAS market profile, at least no daily market profile. I guess there's a weekly now. We can put those back on the screen out here. I might as well do that because that could be a level of resistance or at least a target. So that would say 4508 would become old resistance or old support if we want to call it support, should become new resistance. So 4508 becomes a target. If we look at retracement levels, just simply from high to low. Now, the high I'm referring to, which is what the NQ is gunning for, is the April 19th level. And if we go from that high down to the low from last May 6th is the day, you can see that what the NQ has done is slice through the 0.382 retracement level with what? A wide-ranging bar. Wide-ranging bar, taking out descending price channel. It says 4464 is next on target. I'd say not really. I'd have to say the 0.786 retracement level, 4517, which is right around that 4508, that weekly unfair. Is that what is that? That's the bottom of the weekly. Is really more likely the target out here. Now the ES mini. So this is kind of interesting out here. If you look at the right-hand screen, the ES Mini has hit the first target that you and I identified yesterday. That was the top of that task box. That was the top of the descending price channel. Let's go ahead and explode this up on our screen out here. So inside the ES Mini, inside the S&P, price is really right up against resistance. I mean, it couldn't have hit the numbers that you and I were looking at any better than this. However, it is coming in here with a wide-ranging bar. Now, days like today, if I switch, we'll come back and forth. But days like today, those of you that are longtime listeners, you know that when you have a day, we'll take a look at the Dow and we'll go take a look at the S&P 500. If I were to ask you, where is the Dow likely to close the session today? That means do not look at short positions. I cannot say it any louder. I could, but then you'd say, why are you screaming in my ear? Do not look at short positions. On days like today, where you have the Dow open up at the bottom of the session, never makes a lower low intraday, not in the first 2 minutes, the first 5 minutes, the first any minutes out there, the chances of the Dow finishing at or near its session highs is like in the 90 percentile range. You go do the math. I'm talking about very specific bars out here, and that's what we've got going on. Now, it doesn't happen always. There's a trading day a couple days ago, May the 20th, where it looked like that was the session. So it's not 100% of the time out there, but it's enough percent of the time that you don't want to be trapped on the other side of that trade. It does not make any sense out here. So I don't know that we are at the session highs right now, and we'll watch the ES Mini. Now, the same thing in the S&P 500. If we go take a look at its chart, I know that all of you playing the same game at home after I had shared this with you, you've all gone and you've taken a look at it. You said, by God, the guy is right. It works the same way on the downside out here. It's just so helpful to get your mind out of trying to play the opposite side of this trade on a day like today. So the S&P should close the session at or near its session highs. Now, the reason why I bring it up is because the futures market is saying, well, Steve, maybe we just really kind of linger around this level here for some time to come. I don't know. I think when we took a look at price projections yesterday, we said, you know what's going to happen? Well, we're going to at least see a spike inside the ES Mini to this 2083 level. Now, and that's actually where I have my exit on my futures contract trade. We'll see if it hits that level. It doesn't mean that I'm going to exit necessarily. It means I would exit. I would automatically exit if it happened here during this next 45 minutes or what have you. But it looks to me like that is really where price is going to target. Does that mean that it's going to end there? No, not necessarily. In fact, I anticipate, and you can go ahead, you can take your short hands and you can stick them in your pockets. You can go ahead and hang them up because you can't bring them out until the middle of June at the earliest. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today.
With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's up 212. S&P is up 27 points. Now, let's go take a look at the advanced decline oscillators out here. It should be right here. As we go take a look at those, what's really impressive today, and I didn't expect it, is the NYSE could actually turn to bullish today. Let me see if I can find out. Where would I have that? What their net advancing issues are today. So it's 1,620. Oh, this could be a while because I'm dealing with my other computer. I'd have to look at. Yeah, I probably have to look at my newsletter to find out, but I can do that. Give me a second here. I'm asking you for a second so I can go ahead and pull it up. Just curious because it doesn't. I don't think we're that far away from the NYSE turning bullish. 1840. Okay, so needs 1,840 net advancing issues. So about another 225, which would say, yeah, it's doable. It's absolutely doable today for the NYSE to get into a bullish formation out here, meaning that the price, not the price oscillator, but the advanced decline oscillator getting above zero. Now, the Dow is above zero. So the Dow, as we speak, at 119 in the afternoon, that's now in bullish formation. We had anticipated the NASDAQ composite. We knew that that would be the first one above that zero line. It's clearly above the zero line out here. So that says it's shooting for its most recent highs out here, perhaps above that. And that's what we're going to really watch. What happens at around that April 19th swing point with inside, at least the NASDAQ composite, the NDX 100, and so forth. The VIX index is headed down to 1370 or lower, so that's where it's targeting. Right now, it's trading out at 1467. So it's got $1 or so to move to the downside out here. So everything looks very very good. Just the New York Stock Exchange, and actually the New York Stock Exchange. I was creating a chart here. We've got our man Garo.
I'm sure I would think he's listening. Was hoping that maybe he would call because he's the one that is. I was just trying to create a chart specific for him when he does call in, so I could just really go to it. Here I call it my little Garo tab because we know that he likes to. We know that he almost exclusively trades with the parabolic SAR, great tool from Wells Wilder out there. And Garo had given us the figure. It was right around, 78 and change, as I recall. 78.30, I think, or something right around there was his price point to go ahead and get long right now. And I'm looking at Visa, by the way. It's trading out at 79.23. And I know he uses, I think, 4 different moving averages. So when the next time that he does call in, we'll make sure that I get this here straight. If we take a look at other tools, though, if I go take a look at, I was going to say the advanced decline, but I'll come back there. As I was trying to build this, I saw a couple of different new tools that eSignal had put on their system. And I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting because, you see, I do all my own manual calculations for advanced decline lines out there. I may still continue to do that. I need to compare that to what eSignal is at. And it's only with regard to the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ Composite. But, hey, it's nice to be able to go to it right at this moment out here. But coming back and taking a look at Visa, it has sliced right through. Volume, by the way, inside Visa today, 3.8 million shares. As it is taking on, this is really what we talked about, that we'll find out what Visa is going to communicate to us as it deals with this April 22nd downdraft that had 18 million shares. So that price point, that high was 79.36. You are at 79.28. Your high today has been 79.32 out here. This is an area where it's possible. It's possible that some shareholders are going to try to go ahead and get their money back now. The reason why I say some, look, this is a gap down here that's, basically at their all-time highs. It wasn't that big of a move to the downside. It was from 81, got down to $76. That's not enough to freak people out. You come off the highs with volume, you come off maybe the second time or the third time, and that's enough on a counter trend rally to go ahead and get you out. So this is one of those little nuances, Stevie nuance, where when you take a look at volume, you take a look at the downdraft, and you say, wait a minute, we're pretty darn close to the all-time highs out here. It wasn't an island top or anything along those lines. The reality is there's no reason for all of these shareholders that bought into Visa on April 13th to go ahead and try to get their cash back off the table. It's not like they're saying, phew, or anything along those lines. So I would fully expect that Visa will continue higher. It's going to go ahead and run for the 8052 level. That's its weekly TAS market profile, which says that it's going to make a run for the highs out here. Now, of course, the work and the study that Garo has done on this, I believe he is looking for this to triple in price in the next, I'm going to say year, but we'll give him 2 years even, right? If it does that, but I think it's in about the next year's time frame. So in any event, this hit his number to the T, so he's long, and he's not typically long from a long-term standpoint, is my recollection, that often. But we do have a chart here set up. But the whole point that I was making, boy, it's sure taken me a long time to get there. Sorry about the old blabbering. This little new page here, I haven't named it. But so I found a new tool with inside the eSignal platform that lets me look at the bottom panel out here is what I'm looking at. Lets me take a look at the advanced decline line actively out here. Now, I had shared this with you before, and it's really important. It's really important with regard to my work and what I'm thinking out here. When the New York Stock Exchange, well, first let's take a look at what occurred right back here on the trading session of April 27th, as the New York Stock Exchange got all the way back up and made its most recent high. See this advanced decline line out here? That was at a new all-time high inside of the New York Stock Exchange. This is not how markets end. It just doesn't work out this way. If you go study, you need to go back as far as you can and take a look at the advanced decline information out here. And so with only doing a very shallow retracement, when I say shallow, if we go from the low out here, the low being the trading session on February 11th, well, I was going to try to do that from a retracement standpoint, from that low to the high, it has not even been a 0.382 retracement inside the New York Stock Exchange. It just hasn't. That says you could set up one heck of an A to B equals CD to the upside out here by getting above that April. In this case here, it's the April 27th swing point. So the way that highs are made inside of the New York Stock Exchange, just like they did back here, May 21st, 2015. Let me go ahead and get a tool. We'll use a red line. Let's get the red line out here. Red line is what you will see is you will see price move higher. Almost looks like April 27th, but basically you'll see price move in essence higher with the advanced decline line moving lower out here. Look, if we go back and we take a look at the 2007, if I go all the way back and I move all the way back to 2007 out here, you see the same pattern. And that same pattern here is October 11th, 2007. And what we are going to, where is it? So you can see the advanced decline all the way back out here from that first high back in July of 2007, right? See how this thing was making a lower high out here, and yet we were making higher highs inside the New York Stock Exchange, just slightly higher highs out there. That is how tops are formed inside the New York Stock Exchange. That says this little rally that is unfolding here, which is basically on time for the most part, this could be one heck of a healthy rally out here. Be careful. Be very careful. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's nadex.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Question that is out here in the den from Danny in Atlanta. Danny has posed the question, and I'm going to go ahead and answer it for Danny. He didn't know that I was going to answer it. He didn't actually post it, I don't think, to me. But he says, is there any specific reason why the market is up since 3 a.m.? And I will answer the question this way. And the answer is yes. It's up because of a lunar cycle called apogee. Which came in last week on Thursday, I believe that it was Thursday, right about here. This is on the I can tell you when it came in. It came in at about 6 o'clock in the evening on May 18th. So whatever day May 18th was, and as soon as that was taken out, which was on May 19th. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to ask because I was, away on vacation, but my clients and I went along as soon as that was taken out to the upside. That was really our signal out here. With regard to any other, now there's two possibilities, but I'll go ahead and give you that one. And I've traded this for years, so I know how reliable it is. And we can see how this thing has held that support on any of its tests. And that's really what was going on yesterday as well at 3 o'clock in the morning, by the way, at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And we saw a slight tick below it, but that's you got to give things a little smidgen of a room out here, and when you when it cannot break through a level of support, what's going to happen? Price is just simply going to move higher. Well, what's another thing that was going on at the same time? Well, if you take a look at our chart here of light sweet crude, we know that that's what we're looking at. The bottom portion of this chart is the current contract for light sweet crude. Top portion happens to be the ES Mini. And so what we know is that these two things from a directional standpoint follow each other really well out here. Now, in the case of light sweet crude, just like it's hard for me to say, is it a coincidence? There are no coincidences out here. But we were talking about the ES Mini. You and I talked about the ES Mini hitting resistance of what? The top of its daily box out here. Is it any coincidence? Of course not. That the light sweet crude was doing the same thing. The top of its daily box in light sweet crude is 48.97. It actually got up to a high of 48.93. Okay, it missed it by 4 pennies out here. So you can see the market is really kind of stalled here. I do believe that we're going to bust through it. I don't know, the ES Mini market, I don't know if it's going to bust through it between now and 4 o'clock. Stands to reason that it can. But it's going to want to go ahead and take light sweet crude with it as well. I don't see any signals here at this stage of the game that suggest others. But look, we have to realize, we have to recognize, we are in a two-way market out here, and we're up against some fairly significant resistance levels, whether it's descending price channels that we look at, or some of these hidden, not so hidden, here at TFNN are nice little market profiles that really help us understand where buyers and sellers are at. So, Danny, I would say, why did it move up from that point in time? Yeah, Europe came on board, but the reality was it was unable to break through a significant level of support out there. You can't break it down. What's Tom's expression? If you can't bust them down, yeah, go ahead and you try to bust them up. Well, as we took a look when we opened up the show, we know that that's exactly what's taking place. You got the ES Mini trying to bust them up. You've got the NQ, which has already busted them to the upside, and you've got the Dow trying to do the same thing out there. So we haven't talked about gold. I've got a couple emails I see here saying, please, pretty please, but nothing has changed there. You've got gold off $22. It's going to trade off a heck of a lot more than $22 to the downside. Someone might say, where's gold headed to? Well, once it breaks through this level here, which is in my opinion, this level, which is the trading day, the actual breakout day. In fact, you could say it's really the breakout day because it got above the highs of October 15th. But we'll go ahead and use that February 11th low, 1,200. We'll call it $1,200 even, Steven, because we like how that rhymes out there. You're at $1,232, so another $33 to the downside. Once that takes place, then the roller coaster to the downside will get going like a freight train. And that's at the point in time where everybody on TV and elsewhere are going to be saying, the trade is over. Of course, they're not saying that now because many of them are trapped like rats. Not you, because you're not buying up at these highs out here. So you're looking at least a retracement into, I'm going to say 1104. The target becomes about 1104 before, which is a huge retracement. People will be saying it's over. Not you and I. We'll be just simply looking to go ahead and get in on that action out here. Well, we may be. we'll just have to see what the chart patterns look like at that point in time. But you're looking at 11.4. First stop, $1,200. Next stop, 11.48. Stop after that, 11.04. That is Stevie's target out here for where we're going to see gold head to. So look, it doesn't matter which side of the trade you're on. Just always make sure that you've got stops in place, and then let the market go ahead and tell you what it's really doing out there. In the case of silver is really already just about to bust through that same swing point that we were looking at out here. If we go take a look at that low, you're looking at 1622. That is the April 19th level. So where is silver headed to? That's the question that you're asked. Well, silver clearly right now at this stage, if we just look at breakout levels, it is weaker than gold. So this says that the silver's target becomes $14.65 out here. That is the 0.786 retracement level. So got a long way to go to the downside in the metals, as well as a long way to go to the upside inside of the U.S. dollar index. That thing has just started getting cooking out here. It's up 394 ticks out here, trading out at 95. What do we know about the U.S. dollar index? We know everything you need to know. Number one, just like the NQ has broken through its descending price channel, and if you're one that believes that break a descending price channel, it tells you you've got a change in trend. Of course, we have a change in trend out here, right? So we know that it's broken through that descending price channel. We know it had a nice little hammer candle as it made its lows. We know that it was testing the prior swing point that it held as a long-term consolidation. We don't know that until we put up our continuous contract out here. But once we do that, there come our lines right here. Is that huge? Did I say huge? A consolidation out here. So we know that the U.S. dollar index is now above the 0.382 retracement level. That's a 0.382 retracement level off the high out here. This is a daily chart that we're looking at from back on December the 3rd. So from that high down to the low at 91.80, you're above the 0.382 retracement. That means what, Johnny? Exactly. That says you're going to the 0.618 level. So the U.S. dollar index headed at 97.26. For those of you that believe that the U.S. dollar index is going up and the metals are going lower, it's right in front of you. It cannot possibly be clearer. Now, what this says to us, if we are believers that if you can't bust them out to the downside, you can't bust them down, or you're going to go bust them up. Well, guess what this says? This says U.S. dollar index is going to get all the way back up to the 100 level out here, the top of its consolidation. This is a clear as bell consolidation pattern inside the U.S. dollar index. So this thing is ready to zoom. By the way, you go look that up. I haven't actually done it, but I was on the motor yacht. And when I say yacht, 163-foot motor yacht, zoom. I should wear my zoom shirt. When it was built, the fastest yacht ever built. Really cool vessel out there. In any event, what the U.S. dollar index is going to do is move its way up to at least $97.26. Danny in Atlanta wants to know where platinum is headed to, so we'll have to save that for when we get back from this breakout here. But really the same thing. You know, I'd be targeting the 0.786 retracement level. Actually, we can do it right now before we go to break. 872. 919, that's the target for platinum. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-Shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now, you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's up 195, S&P's up 25. So let's take a look at a couple individual stocks here. I mentioned AutoZone when we opened up the show. That's the leader dollar-wise to the upside. Well, Priceline just overtook it. Priceline's up 21.50, AutoZone up 20 bucks. But if we take a look at it, it's really a classic A to B equals CD pattern out here. Classic seventh wave move that likely culminated today. If we take a look at that wave count to the downside, that's coming off of the high out here. Get my crosshair. That's from the high of March 24th. You'll see that yesterday was really the beginning of wave number 7. Today, still in it, but you've got a big reversal. It's a key reversal. It's a bullish engulfing. And it's a completion of an A to B equals CD to the downside. If we take a look at that, your A point out here from that May 24th level, your B point out here, wave number 5 to the downside on April 29th, makes a nice retracement up into May the 10th. You can see it made a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD to the downside. No, the key level for AutoZone to get above today, it's this little red line that is on my screen, basically where it's trading at right now. So clearing that would be important, but this is a classic buy the D point out here. Then the next level that you want to see this clear is going to be 774.99 as it stands today. But you've got a beautiful looking chart out here. Let's go take a look at volume, see what's behind the move out here, see what it did. We'll switch over to my other trading platform, which is much clearer for both you and I to take a look at. So let's go see what this was doing out here. Okay, well, so when price was moving down over the last couple of days, it was moving back into a level where things had broken out. So there was a gap up. The yellow line shows those gaps up between 741 and 732 and change. And that gap up had volume of 600,000 shares. So as price was pulling back, 420,000 shares on May 19th, yesterday 509, so a light volume. Now today it's got 407 to the upside out here. If we take a look at what our profiles tell us, so you've come back to a breakout area, you've done it on light volume, an A to B equals CD, you've got a seventh wave move, you've got everything that says, okay, reversal is underway, and that says that price is going to go target its, at least its TAS profiles up in the 779 to 784 level. And if volume picks up, it'll go ahead and try to bust it to the upside in that 800-ish range out there. That is ticker symbol AZO Auto Zone. If we take a look at Priceline, let's go see what it is doing out here. That's up today with about 239,000 shares. It's aiming for its swing point out for May 17th that only has 456,000 shares out here. I don't know how the math actually works out today. 240 versus, what did I say, about 450. Seems to me like a little bit light-ish type volume out here. In the case of Priceline, though, I'm just going to say at this stage here, just that's really the resistance level is in that 1286, if I didn't say that, to about the 1295-ish type range out there. Also to the upside, what do we want? Let's take a look at Whirlpool. WHR is the ticker symbol. So Whirlpool had gapped down with looks like some pretty good volume out here. Almost looks like a stock chart of Visa. Only Visa looked a lot better, actually, as I pull this back. But this thing had gapped down with some pretty impressive volume, 3.3 million shares. So what Whirlpool ought to do is try to head towards that gap. We're going to call it somewhere in the 178 to the level of about 185 areas where Whirlpool ought to move to. It's got some pretty nice volume today, 700,000 shares to the upside. Ticker symbol there, WHR. Let's go see what some of these, let's go see what the mining equity, let's go see what the GDX is communicating to us as we speak right now. Now, volume today inside the GDX, there was a consolidation level that it had broken out of. Let's get rid of that. So GDX today, let me clean this up just a tad. So this is trying to take on a recent swing point from a few days ago. I think it's light on volume, though, at that swing. But let's go confirm that. That was a trading session of May 19th that had volume of 88 million shares. And say you're very light. You're 35 million shares to the downside. And price right now is really up against the level of support that those of you that are long the mining equities, you want to see this area hold, and that is $22.75. And the low so far today has been $22.80, and you're trading at $22.84. So you're coming into, a swing. It could be a B point of an A to B equals CD to the downside. But if it closes below $22.75, whether it's today, tomorrow, the next day, then what the message is that price is going to go pull back to 1973. That is the weekly profile out there, and I'd make the case that I don't know if these mining equities are going to really hold up all that well as gold and silver take a nosedive to the downside. So you could easily be looking at 1766 inside of the GDX out there. And I would imagine, the equities probably look the same. Agnico Eagle, let's go look at it. Haven't looked at it. AEM, see what it is doing out here. Trading back at 44.56. Volume, 1.9 million shares going into 2.8. So again, volume light here. This looks better than the GDX does itself. But that's when I talk about, so let me rephrase this, restate this, reframe this. When I speak of gold and silver pulling back to those levels, I haven't studied the mining equities enough to determine whether or not that's really my belief there. It's not. With regard to the specific metals and what the U.S. dollar index wants to do, to me it's clear. It's clear as day as to what's going to take place. How long it's going to take, that I don't know. But those are headed to those target areas that I've provided to you. The mining equities, I think you really got to keep a close eye on those. And some of you have gotten in at some really good price out there, and so it's long-term holdings are a total different scenario than what's going to happen day to day out here. Let's take a look at some other things that are moving. How about Anthem Inc., ANTM? Down 350, but down with some volume out here. Looks like this is headed back to its swing point area from the trading day of February the 8th out here. That says that this is going to target, it's below every profile, daily, weekly. Of course, I can't say every because I don't have the intradays up there, but certainly below the daily and the weekly, and says that price ought to head to 117, 115, and 122 type area. You're at 129 right now, but you've got volume moving to the downside out here. So that becomes its target. I'm going to say the lows at 115.63. ANTM is the ticker symbol. ANTM is what it actually sounds like out there. Let's look at some of the ETFs. How about that? Can we take a look at? Yeah, we can take a look at anything we want. Let's go take a look at. Let's see what the XLK is doing. Of course, that's going to be heavily weighted by Apple. But if we look at the XLK, nonetheless, out here, why did I have that yellow line on my screen? I don't know. But you're up to date with 4.5 million shares going into the area where this had moved to the downside that had, I think it was 14 million shares. It was 14.9 million shares. So you're certainly moving into these areas here on light volume. But, as we move into summerish style trading, we can't necessarily benchmark today's volume versus volume from a couple of weeks ago. And so we've got to rely upon other characteristics, other tools out here. You've got a B point that's being crossed today, that's for sure. That's the May 11th level with 7 million shares out there. Where is XLK headed to? Realistically, 44.73, all the way back up to its high. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
It's 2016 and TFNN has a brand new programming lineup to kick things off. Starting January 4th, Swim Lessons by Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade will be airing 5 days a week at noon Eastern Time. Join hosts Scott Connor, Kevin Hinks, and Cindy Faber as they host their daily options program live at noon 5 days a week with no commercials for the entire hour. Nico DeHaan and Paige Clark will be moving their program, Living a Primal Lifestyle, to twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Wake up with Nico and Paige and start your day off right. The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour by Nadex will now be live Mondays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Start and end the week with the 3 hosts, Tom O'Brien, Tommy O'Brien, and Daryl Martin, as they break down the world of trading binary options and spreads. For all the details on the new 2016 programming lineup, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Join David White as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. 199 to the upside is the Dow. S&P's up 26. NASDAQ Composite up 88. Couple of interesting charts out here. If we take a look at the Wilshire 5000,
which, by the way, doesn't have 5,000 stocks in it. They're so lazy. I think we could call it the Wilshire 3382. Actually, I don't know if it's 3,382 stocks. It's something like that, though. Somebody could probably find the statistics to tell me exactly how many constituents are actually inside the Wilshire 5,000. But it is far less than 5,000. But that doesn't mean, it covers our 3,691. Now, that was June 30th, 2015. But they don't want to call it the Wilshire 3691 out there. But nonetheless, let's take a look at it as we take a look at what's going on in the U.S. stock market, U.S. equities out here. What we can see is from the high that it made, it made its high back on June 22nd, it looks like, June 19th, June 22nd, somewhere around there, June of 2015. We can see a nice descending price channel that it had been in. And price got out of that price channel back here on April 13th. When you break a price channel, and this is what you got to be careful at. Be careful with the with today's move inside the NQ as an example. When you break a price channel, the confirmation that you have really changed your trend, you like to see price come back, test that, and then reject it, and then move higher. And that's exactly what took place. Now, the rejections have taken place here over the first day were taking place over the May 3rd time frame. Then they took place here most recently, May 18th, May 19th, and then May the 20th. And price, you can see, basically, the way I look at this is started a new channel. This is a channel to the upside out here. Now, it hasn't gotten back to its highs in 2015, but it looks like that it's targeting to get back towards those levels in this new little rising price channel. That's the Wilshire 5,000. If we go take a look at the Dow, this is one that you and I looked at yesterday, or we looked at it during the segment that I did with Tom during his show at 3:15 in the afternoon, and that's that the Dow. What's been really interesting to me is that how the Dow went ahead, made a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD, did that on May 19th, and at the same time, all that it was really doing was testing the breakout of its descending price channel. Looks very similar to Wilshire 5,000 if we look at it, and clearly today you've got a very clear break, and this says to me this also has a new trend, and that says, you know what, pretty good chance that it's going to target its May 2015 highs out there, and it can absolutely do that between now and the middle of June. It doesn't have to be the middle of June. The sell in May is really more like sell after July 4th. Out here, but it certainly can't be the middle of June. So it's one of those two out here, and we'll get a feel, for what the markets are going to want. But they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, what we had anticipated, what the markets were communicating to you and I yesterday. Really, May 18th, I think, or 19th was the day when we were able to get a pretty good feel for what the markets really wanted to do out here. And I probably have the New York Stock Exchange. Let me see if I do out here. In the case of the New York Stock Exchange, I guess I don't even know what that green line is. That looks like a trend line. Probably that's the trend line from back in 2009 out here, so I don't have that chart. But here's what you should anticipate, right? We know that the markets are up towards their session, or they're not up towards resistance. And I say the markets, specifically, I'm referring to the ES Mini, which is right up against resistance. The Dow futures right up against resistance of their TAS market profile high. The Russell 2000 up against resistance of its weekly TAS profile, 1134. So really strong resistance here. It is going to be interesting to see what happens as we come along the back stretch here during the next 2 hours. Can these levels of resistance get taken out? And if they can, whoosh, look out. Or I should say, look out above. Hey, stay tuned, because our man David White is up next. And we got the Tom O'Brien Show from 3 to 5, and Andy Heck to take it on home. Have a terrific Tuesday. We'll see you on wonderful Wednesday. Take care, folks.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.